Hey guys, some stupid sketch show guy here with another news video, and today's news video has to deal with Collecta, as they've released part 3 of their 2021 reveals, and these reveals are not dinosaur related, but are still prehistoric. First, we have this set of minifigures, which I don't really care for, because minifigures have never been my style. Like, cool they exist, but they're not my thing. One critique though I do have of these minifigures is that even in this miniature state, they still have the bases. And normally bases are supposed to be balancing things for bigger figures, not aesthetic pieces for smaller figures. Because when they're on these smaller figures, they just stick out like a sore thumb. And because Collecta's bases are not detachable, I just find the inclusion of them incredibly unnecessary. But that's all I have to say about the minifigures. The other figures for this reveal are both marine related and not at all related to dinosaurs, besides the time period they lived. First, we've got the most famous prehistoric fish from the Mesozoic era. We've got Surfactanus. And if there's one word that describes this figure, it's solid, because the figure is, for lack of a better word, solid all around. It has 3 simple shades of gray, rather than 50, which are a dark gray that covers the mouth, top of the body, and the fins, a middle shade of gray that is kind of like a borderline between the bottom and top parts of the gray, and, of course, the underlying silver gray that covers most of the belly and midsection. As well as that, the teeth are appropriately freaky looking, and the fish is covered in a lot of lovely scales. It's a fabulous looking model, and I do really like it. It looks like someone went back in time, caught a Surfactanus, and then preserved it so that they could display it in a museum, and this is the result. It looks really realistic, and a well done fish. Good job, Collecta. Good job. And then the other figure we got here is, ironically, a fish eater, Elasmosaurus, and another very good model indeed, this is, as Collecta has given us probably the best modern representation of Elasmosaurus, as before this, all you really had was the Safari Limited version from 7 years ago, which is good, don't get me wrong, but this is, in my opinion, way better. I think the main thing that sets this apart from other Elasmosaurus figures is just the paint job. Like the Surfactanus, it has multiple shades of gray, but it also has tons of white polka dots all over the body, and it has bright red flippers, which I thought was an interesting but pretty good choice that makes the flippers really stand out. And this paint application, I think, is what sets it apart from, say, the Collecta Thalassamidon from a few years back, as while that figure had a good paint job, it just wasn't as bright and flashy as, say, this figure is. In general, this figure capitalized on the concept from the Collecta Thalassamidon, which was a modern representation of a plesiosaur featuring more modern ideas, such as a tail fluke at the end, and capitalizes on it by making the colors even better and the sculpt also way better. Simply put, this is just a better version of the Collecta Thalassamidon, with better colors and a slightly better sculpt. I love it. Thank you, Collecta, for these figures. So, hope you guys enjoyed this brief news video on Collecta. Comment down what you think of these two marine figures, and see you guys next time.